There are moments in life when the world appears ordinary, draped in the dull fabric of routine and the gray mist of hesitation, and yet within that world, within that very monotony, there exists a pulse, a rhythm, a calling that only the chosen one can feel. The chosen one sees what others overlook, while others shuffle through life with eyes cast downward, bound by fear, doubt, and the limitations of what is known. The chosen one walks with a vision that pierces the veil of ordinary existence, sensing the invisible lines that connect one moment to the next, one opportunity to another, the unseen doors that swing open to those who are awake, who are ready, who are not afraid to step forward even when the path is uncertain. The chosen one has a gift, a sacred awareness, an inner compass that does not lie, and it is this gift that allows them to find gold where others see only dust, to hear music where others hear only silence, to feel the wind of possibility where others feel only the weight of limitation. Opportunities, my friends, are all around us, but most pass through life like ships in the night, unseen and unclaimed. We are too busy counting what we have lost, too busy fearing what we cannot control, too busy trying to fit into a world that tells us we are too much or not enough. But the chosen one does not bend to fear, does not shrink from the vastness of life's horizon, because they understand a truth that is as simple as it is profound. The world belongs to those who see with eyes unclouded by doubt, to those who walk with hearts that refuse to settle for the ordinary, to those who are willing to reach for what is invisible, yet undeniably real. Where others see a closed door, the chosen one senses a crack, a whisper, a possibility. Where others see failure, the chosen one senses a lesson, a seed, a stepping stone toward greatness. Where others see chaos, the chosen one senses rhythm, pattern, and the dance of destiny, waiting for their participation, calling for their courage. To see opportunities where others see none requires more than sharp eyes. It requires a vision that comes from the soul, a clarity that comes from knowing oneself, a courage that comes from understanding that life does not wait for the timid. The chosen one knows that opportunity often wears the clothing of difficulty, often hides behind walls that seem insurmountable, often whispers in a language that only those who listen deeply can understand. The world will tell you that doors are closed, that chances are gone, that the time has passed. But the chosen one has learned to walk through walls, to open windows where none exist, to see not with the eyes, but with the mind and the heart combined. For true sight is never merely physical, it is spiritual, emotional, intellectual, and unwavering. When the chosen one looks at the mountains of challenge before them, they see peaks to climb, vistas to behold, and winds that will carry them to heights unimaginable by those who remain anchored to fear. And make no mistake, my friends, the chosen one is not born to privilege, nor are they handed clarity on a silver platter. They are forged in the fires of struggle, tempered by pain, shaped by loss, and awakened by the relentless whisper of destiny. It is through hardship that the chosen one learns to recognize the golden thread that runs through the tapestry of life, a thread invisible to the careless eye, yet palpable to those who refuse to surrender. Every closed opportunity for someone else is a clue for the chosen one. Every rejection, every dismissal, every moment of being overlooked is a signal, a beacon, a subtle direction pointing toward what is waiting, toward what is theirs if only they dare to claim it. The chosen one understands that the universe conspires not against them, but around them, that every no from the world is a yes, in disguise for the one who knows how to read the signs, the subtle shifts, the hidden patterns that others cannot perceive. The chosen one has learned patience, but not complacency. They understand that opportunities are rarely handed over like gifts neatly wrapped. No, they are often disguised as work, as risk, as uncertainty, as moments that demand courage and vision beyond the ordinary. And so the chosen one prepares, sharpens, studies, and positions themselves, knowing that preparation meets the invisible moment. And when it does, magic happens. It is in this preparation, in this quiet, unseen labor, that the chosen one builds the capacity to recognize what is fleeting, to act decisively when others hesitate, to step boldly into the stream of life flowing around them, carrying them toward their destiny. The world may call it luck, the world may call it timing, the world may call it chance. But the chosen one knows better. It is sight. It is awareness. It is courage coupled with relentless action, the kind of action that moves mountains not because they are forced to, but because they are willing to see beyond the mountain, to sense the path that threads through it, and to walk it unafraid. There is a rhythm to life, a heartbeat, a pulse that runs beneath the surface of ordinary days, and the chosen one dances to it, listens to it, tunes themselves to it until they can hear the whispers of opportunity before it manifests. While the world debates, delays, and doubts, the chosen one acts. While the world hesitates, the chosen one advances. And here lies the secret that most will never understand. Opportunities are not created by luck or circumstance. They are seen, claimed, and carried forward by those who are awake, who are vigilant, who are unafraid of the labor that comes with greatness. To miss an opportunity is human, but to be blind to it is a choice. The chosen one refuses that blindness, for they understand that life does not wait for approval, does not linger for indecision, does not pause for doubt. It flows relentless and unyielding, and those who see and step and act are the ones who ride its current toward triumph. And yet, the chosen one does not hoard opportunity for themselves alone. No, they recognize that the world expands when they lift others, that the impact of seizing an unseen chance multiplies when shared, when guided, when used to create more paths for others who follow. To see what others miss is not only a gift, it is a responsibility. The chosen one becomes a beacon, a guide, a living example that possibilities exist, even when the world insists otherwise. Their vision ignites courage in those around them. Their faith in the unseen strengthens the faith of those who tremble in doubt. Their discernment teaches others that life's treasures are not random. They are the reward of awareness, preparedness, and the willingness to act boldly on what is seen only by the discerning heart. There is something sacred in the ability to perceive what others cannot, a connection to something higher, something beyond the ordinary, a relationship with destiny itself. The chosen one recognizes that every moment carries within it infinite possibilities, and they are trained, consciously or unconsciously, to notice the subtle shifts, the quiet openings, the hints of promise that others ignore. A conversation, a glance, a gesture, a sound, a thought, any of these can hold the seed of an extraordinary opportunity. And the chosen one, attuned to life's hidden frequencies, gathers these seeds with reverence and courage, planting them in the fertile soil of action until they bloom into realities that defy expectation. It is not magic, though it feels miraculous. It is mastery, the mastery of attention, intention, and courage, cultivated over time, nurtured in silence, refined in solitude, and unleashed in moments that demand greatness. And let us speak truthfully, the path of the chosen one is not without its shadows. Those who see what others miss are often misunderstood, overlooked, or doubted. They are called dreamers, fools, or worse, audacious. Yet they persist because they know that vision is a gift not given lightly, that insight comes with responsibility, that to turn away from the unseen is to betray oneself. The chosen one does not wait for validation. They do not seek applause. They move because they have seen, they act because they know, they persevere because they are bound to the truth of possibility that others have yet to comprehend. In their solitude, in their focus, in their relentless pursuit, they cultivate a strength that radiates, a quiet power that inspires, a presence that reshapes the world simply by refusing to conform to its limitations. So listen with your soul, for the world is full of opportunities hidden in plain sight, waiting for eyes that are willing to see, hearts that are willing to believe, hands that are willing to work. The chosen one knows that life's treasures are not labeled, not obvious, not granted to the timid. They know that the seeds of greatness often come wrapped in difficulty, cloaked in challenge, hidden behind layers of what seems impossible. And yet they reach, they strive, they labor with faith, knowing that the unseen becomes seen, the impossible becomes inevitable, and the overlooked transforms into the extraordinary. To follow the path of the chosen one is to embrace courage, to trust vision, to act decisively, and to understand that every moment carries within it the power to change a life, a community, a destiny, if only one is awake enough to notice and bold enough to move. And in the quiet of night, when the world sleeps, the chosen one does not rest entirely. Their mind hums with awareness. Their heart pulses with insight. Their spirit listens to the whispers of life that others have dismissed as silence. They recognize that every challenge contains a key. Every closed door contains a clue. Every setback contains a lesson wrapped in disguise. And when the morning comes, when the sun rises over a world still blinded by routine and hesitation, the chosen one is ready, alert, alive to the infinite possibilities that fill the air like invisible sparks, waiting to be gathered, waiting to be nurtured, waiting to transform the ordinary into the remarkable. They know that to seize what others miss is not an accident, it is a choice, a discipline, a sacred calling, and they honor it with every breath, every thought, every deliberate step they take along the path that is theirs alone, yet meant to illuminate the way for all who follow. And so, my dear friends, let this be a call, a reminder, a stirring in your soul. The world holds far more than we often perceive. There are doors that seem closed, paths that seem blocked, opportunities that seem invisible. But for those who awaken, who open their eyes, who cultivate discernment, who prepare relentlessly, who act courageously, these doors swing open, these paths reveal themselves, and these opportunities transform lives. To see what others miss is to dance with life, to listen to the rhythms that others ignore, to recognize the sacred signals that whisper. This is your moment, this is your calling, this is the chance you were born to claim. The chosen one knows that life is not measured by what is obvious, but by what is recognized, pursued, and realized. And in this knowing, in this awareness, in this bold, unwavering courage, they step forward not just to live, but to illuminate, to inspire, to transform, and to claim the extraordinary as their destiny. The chosen one walks through the world with a different vision, a vision sharpened by persistence and refined by experience. They understand that every ordinary moment carries within it the potential for extraordinary transformation. And they move through life as if the unseen is always present, guiding, revealing, whispering secrets that the careless eye cannot perceive. While others are distracted by noise, by the trivial demands of what seems urgent but is inconsequential, the chosen one tunes themselves to the subtle signals of opportunity, listening for the faint heartbeat of possibility that runs beneath the surface of every day. They have learned to read the world as a language, to translate the invisible into the tangible, to see the faint glimmers where others see only shadows, to recognize the patterns that lead to triumph, and to act on them with unwavering resolve. Life to them is not a series of random events, but a vast, intricate design, waiting for those who have eyes to see, hearts to feel, and courage to act. And let us not mistake this awareness for arrogance, for the chosen one carries a humility that is born of understanding. They know that vision alone is nothing without action. They know that insight, unaccompanied by effort, is a ghost that whispers but never shapes reality. The chosen one does not wait for permission, does not linger in the comfort of what is known, does not settle for what is safe. They step forward into uncertainty, into challenge, into the moments that demand everything of them, because they know that opportunity favors the brave, the prepared, the discerning, and the relentless. They see what others cannot because they have trained themselves to notice, to interpret, to understand that the world is filled with hidden doors, secret passages, and paths that seem blocked only to those who lack the eyes to see them. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every obstacle a guide, every shadow a signal. The chosen one walks in awareness, in harmony with the rhythm of life, always ready to respond to the subtle invitations that others overlook. There is a discipline to this vision, a dedication to perceiving what is unseen, that sets the chosen one apart. It is not simply a matter of chance or luck, but of cultivation. They learn to watch, to listen, to wait, and then to act with precise timing. Their senses are attuned to the quiet hum of life's possibilities, and they recognize that success is not delivered to the impatient, to the fearful, or to the distracted. It comes to those who study the world, who understand its language, who trust in their inner compass even when the outer world doubts them. The chosen one develops an intimate relationship with life itself, learning to see the signals hidden in ordinary moments, to extract meaning from the unnoticed, to recognize that every encounter, every conversation, every gesture carries a hint, a clue, a spark that can ignite a transformation. While others sleep in the complacency of the obvious, the chosen one awakens to the extraordinary that surrounds them, poised to step forward into every opportunity that reveals itself, no matter how subtle or disguised. And yet in all of this, the chosen one understands patience. They know that the seeds of opportunity require cultivation, that timing is sacred, that rushing forward without preparation can destroy what careful attention would have revealed. They wait, not passively, but actively, sharpening their skills, expanding their knowledge, owning their judgment, refining their discernment. They prepare for the unseen moment, knowing that when it arrives, it will demand everything they have learned, everything they have become, everything they are willing to give. And when the moment comes, they act, not with hesitation, not with doubt, not with fear, but with the quiet confidence of one who has read the signs, who has prepared for the challenge, and who knows in the depth of their soul that they are ready. The chosen one also understands the power of vision over circumstance. They recognize that life does not always hand you what you want, that the world is often unfair, that doors close when you least expect it, and that people may fail to see your worth. Yet they do not despair, they do not falter, they do not give themselves over to bitterness or resignation. Instead, they look beyond the surface, beyond the denial of the world, to the possibilities that exist beneath, waiting for the eyes and the courage to recognize them. Every failure, every slight, every moment of being overlooked becomes a clue, a lesson, a step toward a larger understanding, and the chosen one moves forward, always seeing, always learning, always claiming what is theirs, even when the world doubts, even when others fail to understand, even when the path seems invisible. And in this, there is an extraordinary faith, not merely in chance, not merely in luck, not merely in the visible, but in life itself, in the unseen forces that guide, in the patterns that connect, in the wisdom that flows when one is willing to notice. The chosen one trusts that life is abundant, that possibilities exist in every corner, that opportunities come in forms both dazzling and subtle, and that the one who is awake, prepared, and brave will always find them. This faith does not absolve them of effort, it does not excuse them from work. It inspires them to labor with purpose, to act with courage, to step forward even when the ground is uncertain, even when the night is long, even when the voice of fear whispers that it is impossible. The chosen one knows that the impossible is only a word, and that the unseen becomes visible to those who refuse to blink. And the beauty of this vision, the extraordinary gift of the chosen one, is that it transforms not only their life but the lives of all who cross their path. When they recognize an opportunity that others have missed, they illuminate it, they demonstrate it, they create a bridge for others who are willing to follow. Their perception inspires courage in those who falter, clarity in those who doubt, hope in those who despair. They teach, not by lecture or instruction, but by example, by the sheer force of their vision and their actions, showing the world what is possible when one refuses to accept the limits that fear and doubt impose. The chosen one becomes a living testament to the truth that life's treasures exist not for the passive, but for the vigilant, not for the timid, but for the brave, not for the distracted, but for those who see, who listen, who act. And make no mistake, the chosen one is not untouched by hardship. They stumble, they struggle, they face moments of doubt, fear, and loneliness that would deter the unprepared. But what distinguishes them is their resilience, their ability to perceive opportunity even in the midst of adversity, their capacity to recognize that every trial carries within it a seed of advantage, a lesson that can be transformed into victory. They understand that life is not a straight line, that setbacks are not punishments, that resistance is not denial, but rather the soil in which insight grows, in which understanding deepens, in which vision becomes sharper. The chosen one embraces struggle not as a burden but as a teacher, as a doorway, as a necessary companion on the path to greatness. And in this embrace, they learn to see the invisible threads that connect challenges to opportunities, obstacles to breakthroughs, failures to triumphs, and they step forward again and again, with the quiet courage that comes from knowing that nothing is wasted, that every moment is purposeful, that every experience is a guidepost toward destiny. The chosen one also knows that opportunities are never truly isolated. They ripple, they expand, they multiply. When they recognize what others miss, when they act decisively, they open a channel through which abundance flows, for themselves and for others. They understand that life is a tapestry, and that each thread they touch strengthens the whole, that each insight they act upon becomes a path for others, that each courageous step forward illuminates the way for those who have yet to awaken. They see that the world rewards action born of vision, perseverance, and courage, and they understand that the invisible becomes visible not by chance, but by commitment, by readiness, by the refusal to turn away from what others overlook. In this, the chosen one becomes more than an individual. They become a force, a presence, a living example of what it means to see deeply, act boldly, and transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. And so, the chosen one teaches us that life is never merely what it seems. It is a vast, intricate network of possibilities, hidden doors, and unseen openings. It is a challenge to the ordinary, a call to courage, a summons to vision. The chosen one responds, not because it is easy, not because it is convenient, not because it is guaranteed, but because they see, they know, they feel, they trust. And in their seeing, in their knowing, in their feeling, in their trusting, the world becomes larger, brighter, more alive. Doors that seemed closed swing open. Paths that seemed blocked unfold. Possibilities that seemed invisible become tangible. Lives that seemed ordinary are transformed. And those who witness the chosen one, who follow their example, who learn to attune themselves to the hidden rhythms of life, begin to perceive the extraordinary in their own existence, to claim opportunities that were once hidden, to act with courage that was once dormant, to transform their destiny with the same quiet, powerful, relentless grace that defines the chosen one. The chosen one does not simply drift through life. They move with intention, with awareness, with a vigilance that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary gateways. While the world debates, hesitates, and second guesses, they step forward. While others sleep in the lull of complacency, they awaken to the pulse of possibility, sensing the invisible threads that weave the tapestry of destiny. Every encounter, every glance, every whisper of life carries meaning to them, and they read the subtle signals as one reads a sacred text. A look in someone's eye, a moment of silence, a change in the wind, a fleeting thought, all become signposts pointing toward a greater understanding, toward a doorway that others have overlooked, toward a path that leads not merely to achievement, but to significance. The chosen one understands that life is generous to those who listen, to those who act, to those who see beyond the obvious. And so they watch, and they wait, and they act with precision, transforming fleeting chances into monumental victories, invisible opportunities into tangible triumphs, and overlooked moments into eternal legacies. And this awareness is not born of luck. It is forged in fire. The chosen one has walked through valleys that others feared to enter. They have endured storms that would have shattered the timid. They have faced nights so dark that the world seemed silent, cold, and unyielding. Yet even in that darkness, they perceived the faintest shimmer of possibility, the quiet invitation of destiny. It is this ability to perceive in the dark, to feel the unseen even when the visible fails, that separates them from the ordinary. The chosen one does not mistake chaos for finality, nor failure for the end. They see in every setback the seeds of a breakthrough, in every rejection a lesson waiting to be learned, in every obstacle a hint of opportunity disguised in the clothing of adversity. They understand that the world is not always kind, that life does not always grant what is expected. But they also understand that nothing is wasted, that every moment carries a whisper of the extraordinary, that the unseen and the overlooked are the very treasures that await those with eyes to perceive and courage to act. The chosen one recognizes patterns where others see randomness, connections where others see separation, potential where others see limitation. Their vision is a lens, focused yet expansive, precise yet boundless, tuned to the rhythm of life's hidden currents. They understand that time moves differently for those who see deeply, for those who can sense opportunity before it fully manifests, for those who have cultivated the patience to recognize its subtle signals. While the world chases after the obvious, the loud, the flashy, the immediate, the chosen one attends to the faint pulse beneath it all, the quiet signs, the whispering possibilities, the gentle nudges that say, "This is your moment, this is your opening. Step through and claim what is waiting." And step through they do, with the quiet confidence of one who knows that life is vast, that the universe conspires not against them, but with them, and that opportunity is abundant for those who refuse to ignore it, for those who refuse to settle, for those who refuse to blink at the subtle wonders that others pass by unnoticed. And it is not only vision that sets the chosen one apart, it is action. They do not merely see, they move. They do not merely recognize, they claim. They do not merely understand, they manifest. They understand that insight without movement is wasted energy, that perception without action is empty, that potential without execution is a ghost that haunts only the imagination. The chosen one prepares, studies, sharpens, and strengthens themselves in every moment, so that when the opportunity appears, even in its quietest, most hidden form, they can act decisively, courageously, and effectively. And when they act, the ripple effect is profound, for every action taken on an opportunity that others have missed generates influence, growth, and transformation far beyond the immediate moment. They understand the sacred responsibility of vision. It is not only a gift, but a duty, a calling to translate insight into impact, to turn the invisible into the visible, to make real the possibilities that lie hidden in plain sight. And let us not forget the patience that underlies this vision. The chosen one is willing to wait, not in hesitation but in preparation. They understand that not all doors open immediately, that not all opportunities are ready to be seized, that timing is a sacred element in the unfolding of destiny. They use this waiting to cultivate strength, sharpen discernment, deepen understanding, and refine their readiness. They are ever alert, ever attentive, ever awake, so that when the moment arrives, and it always does, they are ready to respond with clarity, precision, and boldness. The chosen one does not panic in delay. They do not despair in postponement. They trust that the unseen is working, that the subtle currents of life are shifting in their favor, that the universe is setting the stage for the perfect alignment of preparation, vision, and opportunity. And when that alignment occurs, they step forward not with hesitation, but with the steady, unwavering certainty of one who has done the work, learned the lessons, and prepared for the moment that the world has yet to recognize. And let us speak also of resilience, for the path of the chosen one is never free of struggle. They will face rejection, doubt, misunderstanding, and opposition. They will encounter those who cannot see their vision, who cannot grasp the possibilities they perceive, who cannot understand the quiet work that unfolds behind the scenes of every success. But the chosen one persists, because their vision is stronger than criticism, their awareness deeper than misunderstanding, their purpose larger than opposition. They know that life does not owe them recognition, that the world will not always applaud, that validation often arrives only after triumph has been claimed. And yet they do not rely on applause. They do not seek approval. They move forward because they see, because they understand, because they are called. Their resilience is born not of stubbornness, but of clarity, of faith, of the intimate knowledge that what is seen by the chosen one is real, is attainable, and is waiting for the courage to claim it. The chosen one also understands the multiplicative power of action. To seize what others miss is not merely to change one life, but to change countless lives, to open doors that were previously invisible, to illuminate paths for others who will follow. They recognize that opportunity, when acted upon with vision and courage, does not exist in isolation. It spreads, ripples, expands, influencing more than the immediate moment, touching lives unseen, shaping realities unimagined. Every insight, every decision, every courageous step becomes a beacon for others, an example of what is possible when one refuses to settle, when one refuses to ignore, when one refuses to be blind to the hidden gifts of life. The chosen one becomes more than an individual. They become a force of influence, a living proof that the invisible, when perceived and acted upon, transforms not only the self but the world around them. And there is a sacred humility in this vision. The chosen one does not see themselves as greater, better, or more deserving than others. They understand that their ability to perceive opportunities is not a measure of superiority, but a reflection of awareness, preparation, and courage. They know that anyone can cultivate this vision, anyone can awaken to the hidden possibilities of life, anyone can learn to see what others overlook, but it requires dedication, effort, and an unwavering commitment to notice, to listen, to act. It requires patience in the waiting, courage in the moment, and faith in the unseen. And the chosen one, through their example, invites others to awaken, to step into the fullness of life, to recognize the extraordinary in the ordinary, and to seize the moments that the world has overlooked. And let us not forget that the chosen one sees life as an intricate web, a symphony of moments, connections, and possibilities. Every encounter, every choice, every thought is a note, a thread, a vibration in the larger composition of destiny. They recognize that timing, alignment, and action are all essential, and that to miss a single signal is to forfeit a key opportunity. And so they move with alertness, with awareness, with a reverence for the unseen orchestration of life. They listen to the quiet, act on the subtle, and trust in the unfolding. And when they succeed, it is not merely a personal triumph, it is a revelation, a demonstration that life is filled with hidden pathways, that greatness exists in the unnoticed, that the extraordinary lies just beyond the perception of those who have not yet learned to see. The Chosen One also teaches that opportunity is often disguised as challenge. What appears as a blockade, as a difficulty, as a moment of impossibility is frequently a doorway in disguise. And it is the Chosen One who discerns this, who walks through the obstacle rather than around it, who embraces the struggle rather than fleeing from it, who finds the opening that others insist does not exist. They understand that the most profound breakthroughs often arrive in the garb of hardship, that the most significant opportunities are seldom obvious, that the hidden treasures of life are rarely presented in plain sight. And so they develop the courage to see beyond the surface, the patience to wait for the unveiling, and the resolve to act when the time is right. Their vision, their insight, their readiness, and their action converge to transform what seems impossible into what is inevitable. And in their vision there is also a generosity of spirit. The Chosen One does not hoard insight or power, they share it, illuminate it, extend it to others so that more may see, more may act, more may awaken. They understand that life's abundance is not diminished by sharing, that opportunities multiply when acted upon collectively, that the ripple of one courageous act reaches far beyond the individual. The Chosen One inspires, teaches, guides, and uplifts, not because it is required, but because it is part of the calling that comes with perceiving what others cannot. They recognize that life's hidden gifts are never meant to be hoarded, but to be cultivated, nurtured, and shared so that the ordinary becomes extraordinary for all who choose to awaken. The Chosen One understands that life is neither random nor cruel, but deliberate in its complexity, rich with unseen currents and invisible invitations. Where others see the mundane, they see the miraculous waiting to be claimed. Where others see obstacles, they see openings. Where others see endings, they see beginnings. They have learned to read the language of the universe, to sense the subtle shifts in the wind, the faint murmurs in a crowd, the glimmer of possibility in a fleeting gesture. And they know that these signals are not accidents, that they are whispers meant to guide those willing to listen, signs meant to illuminate the path for those brave enough to step forward. The world does not reveal its secrets to the timid, the distracted, the doubtful. It reveals them to the Chosen One because they have cultivated awareness, because they have honed patience, because they have strengthened their courage, because they have dared to look beyond what is visible and into what is possible. And in this seeing, the Chosen One experiences a profound connection to life itself. They feel the heartbeat of the earth beneath their feet, the rhythm of possibility in every conversation, the pulse of opportunity in every challenge. They know that life is abundant, that it is not limited by circumstance, that its treasures exist for those who have eyes to perceive and hearts to embrace. They recognize that timing is never arbitrary, that moments align not by luck but by the intersection of readiness and insight. And so they prepare, they observe, they study, they learn, they wait, they move. They understand that every seed of opportunity must be nurtured, every whisper of insight must be followed, every chance must be seized. And they do so with a quiet intensity, with a focus that the world cannot distract, with a persistence that the world cannot shake, with a faith that the world cannot diminish. The Chosen One knows that the road is rarely smooth. They encounter resistance, misunderstanding, doubt, and fear not only in the world but within themselves. Yet they do not allow these forces to deter them. They do not bend to the weight of disbelief. They do not surrender to the voices that say, "You cannot." Instead, they recognize that these moments are the proving ground of greatness, the crucible in which vision becomes reality, the refining fire that transforms insight into mastery. They move forward with courage, fueled by the knowledge that every challenge, every obstacle, every moment of doubt contains within it the seed of opportunity. And they step through the darkness guided by the light of awareness, sustained by the quiet certainty that what they have seen is real, attainable, and waiting to be claimed. And this vision is both intimate and expansive. The Chosen One sees not only the immediate path before them, but the ripple of influence that extends far beyond. They understand that every opportunity claimed, every obstacle overcome, every insight acted upon touches lives unseen, shapes futures unimagined.